Put on YouTube. Okay, listen for the music.
I just said the damn thing. Where is it? Oh, there you go.
Music playing.
Really? Oh, hold on. I ain't. There you go. Don't be eavesdropping. I hear y'all eavesdropping on us.
Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it?
Good morning, family. Y'all probably said Nicky's crazy, right? Well, while I'm waiting for them to build the audience, I'm sitting here drinking my coffee and eating a honey bun and some crackers for cheese. It's good, y'all. Okay. Now, y'all probably said, what the hell you got on your...
Good people, good people.
Good people. How you know some good people is on here? You don't know if there's no good people on here. Peace and blessings, family. How are you? I am Wunam, aka Nicky Love.
Brother Adinkra.
Welcome to Spiritually Seeing News, where we see what you can only imagine. Y'all probably said that's corny as hell, y'all. But anyway, all I'm going to say is peace and blessings, family. Look, okay, Diane is my brother. Peace and blessings. How are you? As a matter of fact, we need to talk because I need some dashikis from Africa. I need some stuff from Africa for the store, okay? You need to give me a call or I'll give you a call, okay? But anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about a few things, y'all. And then we're going to get into some spiritual stuff because people don't understand. People, I know that Dinah said hella corny. I know. That's all right. It's all good. But it's true. You know what I mean? People can't see everything like we can see. People imagine these things, but you can't really see it. But anyway, Zachary Williams, peace and blessings, brother-in-law. How are you?
What's up, Zach?
All right, so y'all, okay. Tonight we're going to talk about, you go ahead, brother Dinkra. You're the news man as far as what's going to go down. So we're going to let brother Dinkra tell us what we're talking about tonight.
We're going to talk about South Africa. There was a lady in South Africa that went to prison, got sentenced to prison for racism. We're going to talk about Baton Rouge, the Alton Sterling case, and what else? Oh, you still want to talk about the split in South Africa?
Yeah, we could touch on that. It's not South Africa, it's in
Ethiopia.
In Africa,
well,
Right.
Ethiopia.
Saying that there's going to be a new, we can do that. So where do you want to start with, Brother Adinkra?
I guess we could start with Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge it is, then we'll start with y'all. All right, as y'all know, the news is going down. It's going down. Y'all heard about the young man who actually got shot by the police. His name is Alton Sterling, okay?
And as the story goes, somebody called in the police department allegedly. I don't know if it's true. I haven't heard, but the gist of the story is somebody called in to the police saying that somebody was waving a gun at the gas station. The police responded aggressively, and all they found when they got there was a guy selling CDs. So they started harassing him. They started trying to arrest him. They say he was resisting arrest. They didn't really have a probable cause, but so they wrestle him to the ground, get him on the ground, and they're holding his hands down, behind his back, and he tells them, "I got a gun, on me." I guess they asked him, "You got a gun?" He said, "I have a gun on me," and then they shot him dead. Now, the police say that they didn't really follow procedures like they were supposed to, but they broke rules, but they didn't break the law. So they didn't, the guys didn't go to, the two police officers didn't go to jail. But, I think one of them got suspended. I don't know, not suspended, but fired. I don't know if both of them, I think the guy who pulled the trigger got fired. But, what I don't understand is this is in a state, right? The state of Louisiana, where people do all kind of hoodoo and voodoo and rituals like that on people for no apparent reason other than money. Not a righteous reason, not for a justice cause. They kill people with voodoo, which you're really not supposed to do, but they do it anyway for money. And my thing is, back in the day, when we were really going at it with these people spiritually and stuff like that, they used voodoo for their advantage to keep them out of trouble, keep police from harassing them, stuff like that, keep from being killed and hung and lynched. And now that we're still being hung and lynched, but in a different way, they're not using the voodoo to take care of that part of it.
Well, they pretty much call it hoodoo in Louisiana.
Well, some of them still deal with, the traditional
they just
ways.
try to and we know that a lot of that is kind of commercial down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, you speak truth, because what we have to understand, family, is what gets me is we're so quick to use, whether you want to call it hoodoo, voodoo, traditional medicine, palo, whatever you want to call it. We're so quick to use it against each other, but don't use it for the righteous things that need to be done. Okay? I see it all the time, and we'll talk about that on the end, but I see it all the time. You quick to kill somebody, and you think you the baddest thing walking. You got all this power, and you doing all these rituals, but you ain't doing it for the righteous causes, which is making sure that we get justice. And see, this is a problem. You want to do this sister wrong. You want to do that brother wrong. You want to do a ritual to make them sick, to kill them, to put tricks on them, as y'all say in Louisiana.
Lay a trick and
all that good stuff that y'all do in Louisiana, because I'm going to always be straight African, y'all. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, what we got to understand, here every day, when we get on the news, we're constantly seeing, this type of energy going down. Now, last week we got one young man that was shot in Sacramento, California. Shot 16 times or however many times that he was shot for no reason at all. For no reason at all. And then here you got in Louisiana, another young boy shot in the chest. This boy selling CDs. These people are literally losing their goddamn minds. Okay? They're losing their minds. This young man, two of our black young men has lost their lives because they feel like they just have the right to pull the trigger to kill our babies. And yes, they our babies, okay? Black people, y'all better wake up. And I don't give a goddamn what you do, whether you do hoodoo, voodoo, juju, whatever you want to call it. You better use it for righteousness, because at the end of the day, that's getting out of hand. It's been out of hand. Let's be real about it. It's been out of hand. Out of hand. I mean, it's constantly going on and on. You put on the news, another young black man has been shot. Go ahead, Brother Thinker, because I'm getting mad about it, because you know what I'm saying is making me angry. And,
you know, what I noticed, too, is they never tell the police name. They never tell the police name, but it's, you know, it's supposed to be public knowledge. Whenever somebody, you know, black do something and they can't even prove that he actually did it, they definitely share their name, they definitely share their face and stuff like that. And, you know, I feel like, you know, the police officers' names are, for those who don't know, Howie Lake II and Blaine, how you say that? Salamone. Blaine Salamone. And Howie Lake II. I feel like that name shouldn't be hidden, you know. It's public knowledge, so tell their names. And I mean, that's all I really got to say about that. I mean, it's just kind of, I just don't understand it, because this is in the state of Louisiana, and I've heard stories. I know people from New Orleans, and I know people from Baton Rouge. I know people from all over Louisiana. So I don't understand why they do it, because they get mad at somebody, but they can't get mad enough to, you know, do it for a good cause. You know what I mean?
That's right. Well, I'm going to tell y'all like this. You know, you become numb to it, but you still get angry. Okay? Mm-hmm. But a message again for those who are so quick to pull their hands to do ritual work or hoodoo or voodoo. You better use it to help make sure that there's justice served, because it's time. Okay? Stop using it on each other and use it for what we need to use it for, which is righteousness and justice. And by the way, happy Oshe Sango Day. Today's Sango's Day. Happy Oshe Sango. Okay? Now, we're going to go on to the white woman in South Africa who got arrested. Okay?
She got arrested. I forgot. You know, this case been, it's been ongoing, and she finally got sentenced, and she got sentenced to prison, and
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years in prison.
3 years in prison for calling, you know, my people in South Africa kafir, which is basically like calling them niggas. Let's be real, okay? Like calling them niggas and thinking she had white privilege and she was superior to them, and they locked her ass up 3 years, and they do need to put her under the goddamn prison. It is what it is. And you know what? At the end of the day, how the hell you gonna be in a country called Africa? Okay, when 98% of the people, okay, are 98% of the people, okay, are black, African. You understand? Just because you was born in South Africa don't make you what is that? What is that? You don't mean you black? Okay,
because they're not African. They invaders, colonizers,
as they said in the movie Black Panther. You're colonizers. You know what I mean? Your ancestors were colonizers. Let's not forget that. Okay. Now,
that's like me moving to China, and my family been over there for 20 years. Are you gonna really consider me a Chinese?
Exactly. So, you know, pretty much this woman, and they, you know, they're posting it all over the place, family, and it is good for her. That's what she gets. First of all, I'm so sick of people. Okay, she was being racist, first of all. Okay, you can't come where 90% of the people are people of African, you know, African lineage. Okay, and think that you're going to sit up there and act like you're superior. First of all, she probably is angry because all the shit that's going on with the farmers. Y'all know what's going on with the farmers. You know Mugabe did not play and was putting their asses out of there. There's videos on YouTube where they're showing how they're really not playing with them, okay? Some of them have got killed. They're getting beaten and all this. Now, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not one for violence, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not one for violence, but I am one that does remember. Okay, now you want to cry, but what about during apartheid when you was doing it to the black people? You see, y'all seem to forget.
They were straight up murdering.
Right, murdering
them.
Okay, and you had apartheid, and
those who resisted, they got murdered. They got put in jail for over 20 years.
Exactly. So now y'all want to get on YouTube, cry about what's going on with the whites in South Africa, okay? But you soon forget what happened. Apartheid wasn't that long ago, y'all. It wasn't that long ago, okay? Yeah. Always want to cry, but never want to remember what you all did and how many people you killed and how many of my African brothers and sisters, not to mention even slavery. See, I get angry, y'all, because it's like, do y'all forget? Do y'all forget what the hell? I don't give a goddamn if it was your ancestors who did it. You know what? We are still experiencing, as a matter of fact, right, Brother Dick?
And they still benefit from
right, and they still benefit from, but what you have to understand, people, is that, you know, we get comments here, especially on our YouTube. We get comments, and every time we talk about something like this, it's these white racist trolls that want to come in, right? White racist trolls that want to come in. There's always them that come on and start trouble. So anybody that's white that's watching this, and you're cool with us, and you've been around us, you know how we are, you cool people, you ain't down for all that, y'all know who the hell we talking about. Let's be clear. It be them white racist trolls that want to come on here and talk shit. Okay? But, like I had to tell this white man the other day, we cannot forget slavery if it still exists in 2018. You can't tell me we always talking about it when it still exists. You just had 2 of my young black men killed. You black boys. Mm-hmm. We're still dealing with racism in 2018. Corporate racism, political racism, you understand? Prison racism, police racism. So when you sit up here and you say, oh, well, y'all blacks need to forget about it, y'all can kiss my natural black ass, because at the end of the day, as long as racism in this country still exists, we gonna keep yelling and we gonna keep talking about slavery and what your goddamn ancestors did and how you got their blood, and you're doing the same goddamn thing. Because right now, you can't tell me there's still not slavery right now. There's still not racism right now that's going down every day in this country called America.
That is funny because they always tell us to forget about that and we need to move past that and all of that, but they don't ever tell that to the Jews. They don't ever tell the Jews to forget about Germany. They don't ever tell the Jews to forget about Hitler. So they don't never say that to the Jews, but they always want the black people to forget what, you know, the things that we've been through. And the reason why they was able to lock her up, family, I didn't touch on this. In 2000, South Africa Parliament passed the Unfair Discrimination Act, and it also included hate speech. So if you're calling people, you know, kafirs, was it kafir? Kafirs.
Yeah.
By calling them that, you know what I'm saying, that was included in the hate speech. So that's why they actually sentenced her to jail. And I don't think this is something harsh, because at the same time, in other countries, you get your ass beat for less and you would get 10 years, 20 years for less than something like this. Something that's not even that severe. So I just think that I feel like all countries of color, especially in Africa, they need to pass this law. They need to pass a law like that.
Okay. All right. So here we have it. Peace and blessings. Our family is joining us on Facebook. We have YouTube and Facebook going. Okay. So now, enough of that. Oh, well, she's in jail. Oh, well, she should have kept the goddamn mouth shut. She wouldn't be in jail. It is what it is. Okay. Now, let's go on to
the split.
I don't know if you all heard about it, but it's in Kenya. And in Kenya, all the way going from Kenya to certain parts of Ethiopia. And you all can go look it up on YouTube. There is a tectonic plate that is cracking the earth. And what they're saying is that is getting ready to be a new continent created in Africa. Okay. And they're saying that their plans on, and they're saying thousands of years, but you know what? I don't never go with their energy, their time, and their numbers. Okay? It could be goddamn next year for all we know. We don't know. There's things going on with this earth we ain't got no control of, and we can't control, and we think we can. Anyway, they're saying that there's this tectonic plate is splitting Africa, and there's going to be a new continent created, and they're planning on calling it New Nubia. Okay? New Nubia, and it's supposed to be like another part of Africa that they're going to create. Okay? Y'all check it out. I just thought that was interesting to share because I ran across it on YouTube today. Yes.
Yeah, it was interesting. She read it. I didn't get a chance to read the article, so I'm gonna check it out later.
Well, you know, Reginald Wilder says black people should get black privilege in Africa. That's a touchy subject, my brother, because you have to remember, we're still trying to close the communication gap between our Africans, our brothers and sisters.
And they're still accepting money from people that colonize them.
Right, but it's just not that. The thing is, one thing I have to say, and I told you all, when that movie Black Panther came out, it was going to cause a shift in consciousness, and it was going to open the eyes of Africans in Africa and Africans in America. But it's a touchy subject because they may not think we should get black privilege, because a lot of the tribes, you got to remember there's over 3,000 tribes in Africa, don't know what we've been through, okay? Don't know what we've been through. And until there's a communication gap that closes between Africans in America and Africans in Africa, I don't think, they're going to think that we should get black privilege, okay?
And plus there's propaganda that goes on in Africa about Africans in America. In the same way here, how they show us nothing but when they show us movies of Africa and Africans, and when they show Africans on TV, they always show the Africans in the bush. They don't show the big, nice cities that are better or nicer and more sustainable than the ones in America. They don't show those. They always show the African in the bush and hunting the lion and stuff like that. They always show that part of Africa. They never show you the other part, which to me would be equivalent of them showing hillbillies and creating moonshine in Africa. I don't think they show those those shows on there, and Duck Dynasty in Africa. I don't think they show those in Africa. They might, I might be wrong, but I don't think that's something that America would promote.
Right.
Because it's a lot of things that they do that are kind of, to me, savage.
Well, I mean, again, it's a matter of taking the time to understand, family, that there's just this huge communication gap between Africans in America, and Africans in Africa. If y'all hear me coughing, I'm sorry, but the pollen count here in Georgia is way off the chain. And trust me, I went out for 10 minutes, my whole throat was itching, so I'm real congested, okay? So don't mind me. But, as I was saying, what we have to understand is it's going to come a time when we must sit down together, our brothers and sisters in Africa and our sisters and brothers in our Africans in America. You got a lot of Africans in America that, I ain't African, you know what I mean? Quick to say they ain't African, you know what I mean? And I get disappointed sometimes because when you understand your history, you understand that your lineage is African, okay? All life started in Africa if you really want to get technical, okay? So with saying that, yes, we do know Africans walked this planet, okay? We do know Africans was in America first. However, it's no need for all that because, we got to understand each other's culture. Yes, we lost the culture, during slavery times and when our, ancestors were transported over here. Okay. So we do have a different culture. But when we go back into that DNA and we go back to the lineage, then we understand that most of your families trace back to West Africa, okay? And you should want to know your great-great-great-great-grandfather and your great-great-great-grandfather that was brought over here from Senegal, that was brought over here from Angola, that was brought over here from Ghana. You know what I mean? You should want to know.
I wonder who got the naming rights on that New Nubia.
I know, right? Right? But, you know, family, yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, so tell people we are uncivilized and only cause and reap trouble. Africans are told to stay away from us upon arrival in the U.S. They are told we corrupt them. There's a video they watch. And, you know, and that's so true, Dante Vega. Let me tell y'all something. When my grandmother came over from Cabo Verde, and, you know, they were pretty much brainwashed against Africans in America. Because they were the same thing. They see us over there, we see them over there. So she didn't like, you know, in Cabo Verde and Creole they call it, you know, American Condor Court, right? That means they was, even though she was dark skinned and she was black and she was African, she tell you I'm African, right? Or she say I'm Cape Verdean. The thing about it is she didn't like American blacks. Yeah, right. But not because of the color of the skin, because they wasn't of Cape Verdean or African descent. They didn't come from Africa. So, you know, people say, well, how was she didn't like? Because the same thing they do to us. They brainwash us. They make us look bad over there. Just like in every other country. You see what I'm saying? So that communication gap has to close, my brother, before we even think about getting privilege in Africa.
Somebody said, so calling New Nubia, what do you think it means?
You know, honestly speaking, Fundeje, you know, I don't know what they're implying with that. It was only a 2-minute video, and I want to research it a little bit more. Because, you know, it's always them doing some shit they ain't got no business doing. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, but I do know that we must remember that at one time, years and many, many, many years ago, we did have the continental drift. And I truly believe in my heart and soul that this state of Georgia was actually connected to Africa and especially to ancient Kemet. So I know that it's a possibility that, yes, there couldn't be another drift taking place. Okay. But with them calling the New Nubia, I don't know about all that. I got to do some more research on it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
You know, Sister Dante, they're just not afraid to associate with this. Africans in America are afraid to associate with them too. Mm-hmm. They always got something to say. You know what I mean? Always got something to say. Well, I don't deal with them Africans. I don't deal with them Africans. You goddamn it, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And it's sad because it's such a divide, but it will change.
But you know what it is too? I noticed, it's how you deal, like how you introduce yourself to them and how you deal with them is how they respond to you. You know, because sometimes we come off as, we as Africans in America, we could come off and rub people the wrong way, but just because of our cultural differences, you know. And I see that all the time because it's like we've been westernized too, because a lot of times we'll ask questions that we really shouldn't ask, or it makes the other person that's not from this country feel kind of uncomfortable. Even if they're not black, you know, we just flat out, where you from? Where you from? Or they don't ask the question properly. They'll say, what are you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just think, you know, we need to, like you say, close the communication gap and just, you know, accept people for who they are first and move on from there.
You know, Love and Peace in YouTube says, when the Black Panther movie came out a month later, the piece of Africa came apart. What do you mean by that? I don't understand that. Explain that to me. What do you mean the piece of Africa came? Are you talking about the drift, the split we were talking about? Is that what you're speaking of? Okay. Okay, family. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get on with this topic as we get taking questions tonight. But now we're going to get on. We did the news, spiritually seeing news, okay? I'm going to say this, okay? We're going to talk about the importance. We're going to talk about one-ships. I don't call them relationships. I call them one-ships, okay?
She said, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting to know. To something they doing behind, you know, that people don't know about. After the movie, a month later, that split came apart. So they doing something underground. It might be government or something that's going on. But we got to remember there's beings under this earth too. You know what I mean? It could be the forces of higher beings that's doing this, and a lot of times we think it's the government and they laying the law down. It's time to do this. You know what I mean? It's the Wakandians coming back saying, all right, we're about to make some changes up on this earth here. Okay. Are there some of us destined to help build Africa?
I think so.
I think so. And I've been telling y'all for years. I've been telling people for years, come on, let's go to Africa. Come on, let's go to Africa.
They actually want to do business with us.
And they've been wanting to do business with us. I have land over in Gambia, okay? I have land over in Gambia. I've been telling people, let's go over to Africa and do business with our sisters and brothers in Ghana. You know, I got an offer to actually do with Professor James Smalls and them. They have a hotel over in Ghana. He said, come on, Nikki Love, y'all need to do it. But I had already gotten land over in Gambia, right? And we have land in Cabo Verde. Our family left us land in Cabo Verde, Africa. So pretty much, family, they've been wanting us to come over and do business with them. And yes, we are destined to work with them, okay? We're destined to work with them. These are our brothers and sisters. It is what it is. As much as some of us want to deny, oh, you ain't African. You know what I mean? You're not an African. I ain't African. My family ain't Africa. Come on now. Y'all know, some of y'all be too goddamn literal. Stop being literal and understand the language, okay? You should be, you should want to be proud to be of greatness, of where everything came from. You know what I mean? Okay. Peter Brown is with the Ledge Group. Peter Brown. Who's Peter Brown? I don't know who Peter Brown is. Janelle Brooks. I don't know who that is. Okay. Senegal is given free and we go back and build there. Senegal, as a matter of fact, Senegal is one of the countries in Africa who was offering free land to our brothers and sisters in Louisiana when they had the Hurricane Katrina. Mm-hmm. They opened the doors and was giving free land and inviting them brothers and sisters back to Louisiana. And I think mainly they were doing it because you got to remember, in Senegal, most of your Senegalese speak French. And you have a lot of French Creole in Louisiana, so there was a connection between that, and it wasn't a coincidence, you know what I mean? It wasn't a coincidence, just like with the earthquake in Haiti. French, you know? You have to remember, the French came back and they tried to call themselves paying back whatever happened with the French Revolution. Y'all know about that, how they conquered them using voodoo, okay? So 100 years later, it just so happens
that Haiti had to pay reparation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Louisiana, because there's a connection between the Louisiana and the Haitians, and then you're talking about going back to Senegal, okay? So Senegal is one of the countries that offered land to our brothers and sisters in Hurricane Katrina. I don't know if some of them went or not, but I would have been running. I would have been running the hell up over there, okay? Yeah, free land, okay? Now, let's get on to the next topic. So, Brother Adinkra. What is the importance? First of all, what does a one-ship mean to you?
You become one with the person that you're in a one-ship with. You know what I mean? And everything you do, you got to consider the other person. You become one.
Right.
You know.
Okay. So, what do you think the problem is in this day and time where women... And we're going to take this spiritual, y'all, because this is really, because we're spiritual. We talk about spiritual things. So we're going to talk about the importance of not using your gift and your talents as whether you call yourself a priestess, whether you call yourself a babala, whether you call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, a traditional healer, whatever you want to call yourself. Importance of not using this to harm your own people. But in relationships, as y'all call it, well, I call them one-ships, we have a tendency to want to do evil and do evil things. And now this is stemming off of the post that I put on Facebook today. And many of you seen the post. And the post happens to come from an ex-wife, okay, that really has a problem, okay? And this is something that's not new because when I put the post up, I had a brother hit me up and said, Nikki, you're talking to me. I said, actually, I'm not. But he goes, no, I'm going through the same thing with my ex-wife. I was like, wow. So I had to put it up. It was like Spirit moved me to put it up because it's time for this to be discussed. Brother Adinkra, as a man, you know men are not petty. But have you seen men go to the lengths that you've seen some of our women go through to destroy their ex-wives or women's lives?
No, I haven't seen that. I don't understand it, you know, especially I could understand if I can't understand. Just some things like nowadays the men and the women, they act like children. And what I mean by that is when certain things happen, they don't know how to handle it like adults. And some things I can expect from like an 18-year-old or even a 20-year-old person, but not somebody that's in their 40s, still doing sneaky stuff, still trying to cause harm to somebody, using their gifts to hurt somebody, and they haven't been in a relationship with this person for over 2 or 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I don't understand what is with a person like that. If somebody is that upset with another person and that hell bent on paying revenge to them, you have a mental problem, and you're probably kind of sick in the head. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me, unless you're being controlled by spirits, you know, by demons and shit.
Demons can be shut down too.
Oh, most definitely, but I'm just saying.
So, okay, family. So the question is here, okay? What do you do with an unruly woman or man? What do you do with an unruly woman or man that wants to continue to destroy your life using spirituality, going to people to get rituals done unnecessarily? What do you do with a person like that? Because I'm going to tell you all like this. At the end of the day, our people. My sisters. My brothers. I'm going to tell y'all like this. First of all, okay, we do know there's a huge communication gap between black men and black women, okay? There's a huge communication gap, so there's no communication there. Whether you've been married before, whether it's your baby mama or your baby daddy or whatever it may be, okay? And we do know that we need a lot of healing in the black community. And with saying that, you know, I think at a certain age, you should be doing more righteous things, and you should have gained wisdom and insight about your life, especially when you got grown-ass children and you got grandkids, okay?
Yeah.
You agree with that?
I agree with that. Because, you know, when you start taking it spiritual, you don't know what spirits that other person has around them, or you know what I'm saying, or who's walking with them. Stuff like that. That type of stuff could get you really seriously hurt, you know. And this spiritual stuff is not a game.
It's not a joke, and it's not a game. You got people walking around here, they want to have their way. They want to do unrighteous deeds and act like goddamn disagreeable spirits. They want to go see people to do rituals to harm or hurt somebody. How could you dare hurt your mother or first of all, how could you hurt somebody you loved and had children with? How could you want to see them hurt, whether you're a man or a woman? But I'm going to tell you all like this. It's very important to understand how spirituality works, okay? And the reason we want to bring this up, because there's a lot of this going on. I see, Kempster says, sounds like my daughter's mother, one sick bitch. So you can relate. You hear what I'm saying? So with saying that, okay, you got women and men, and this goes for both. It goes for both, okay?
Because men do it too.
Men do it too, right. It goes for both. When you all make the mistake and think that you are doing unrighteous deeds, using ritual work to try to harm, whether it's your baby mama, your baby daddy, or somebody you've been with, I'm going to tell y'all like this. Y'all in for a rude awakening, the energy we in right now. And I'm going to tell you, this energy is so powerful. As I told y'all before, as quick as you could blink your eye, it's as quick as that energy's coming back to you, okay? Now, the lying, the treacherousness, you know what I mean? Treacherousness, you know, trying to destroy somebody's life. It tells me, like you said, Brother Dick, you got to be mentally ill or you know, something's wrong with you. Or just a goddamn disagreeable spirit. Okay?
And not to mention, you doing that, not only you doing work by yourself is going to get you hurt. It's not just only going to get you hurt. It's going to get the people hurt around you. Say you do, let's just say, for instance, you do a ritual to make somebody get in an accident. Now, that person, say if that person doesn't know who sent the energy, but they send it back. He don't know it's his baby mama or his ex-wife, and they got kids together. He just sends the energy back because he feels something is going on. And that energy goes back and hits that woman who did the ritual for him to get in the car wreck, and his kids in the car. And then the kids get hurt and the mama get hurt and somebody else gets hurt. All because you did spiritual work. This is real and this will happen. So you got to be careful when you do things like that. Not only that, if you go into a person that does spiritual work and that person doesn't read it, and this is what happens nowadays. People read it, see the person is lying, but they want the money, so they do the ritual anyway. Then they get messed up. Then the person that did the work get messed up, and the person who paid for the work, they get messed up.
That's right.
And it's just a mess. I done seen it.
And this is happening a lot, family, and especially in the black community. Okay? In the black community, we have a very, very bad habit of being quick to pull the trigger, okay, to hurt one of our own. Whether, again, it's your baby mama, your baby daddy, your family members. I hear this over and over again. I had clients coming to the store the other day, and one sister said to me, it was a couple of sisters, and they came in, and she said, well, my sister said, I'm doing this rituals to the family. Really? Really, family? So you're giving a gift by whoever you call your creator. A beautiful gift in your hands. A beautiful gift in your breath. A beautiful gift to see. And you want to use this to harm your people. Don't y'all think we got bigger problems like our young men getting shot every day for no reason at all? Okay?
And another thing, a lot of people have a lot of warrior spirits around them. And some of these spirits are quick to attack when they see spiritual work done. And the other person might not even be aware of it. The spirit just go in attack mode and shit start happening to you. Your house might catch on fire. You know what I'm saying? The spirit might start choking you in your sleep. I done seen it. You wake up and just stuff happen to you. So I'm telling you, you better be careful.
Well, Denjay, you said we need to get real and stop playing with each other. I've seen it happen too. And you know what? We're seeing it happen all the time. I mean, we get clients out the behind, between the clients I get on the phone from around the world to the clients we get in the store. And you hear this on a common basis, and it makes me angry. It makes me angry because it's like, okay, y'all are not paying attention to what's going on in our communities? Y'all not paying attention that we're still dealing with racism in a country that's supposed to be free? And y'all taking this powerful energy that you have been given to use against each other? You see what I'm saying? So, with saying that, I want to answer the question, I think it was Lovey said, if the person who does evil rituals get karma from it? Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And like Brother Adinkra said, you have people that come in, they don't even read it. I don't play that. When you come into my presence, and Brother Adinkra, you can't just come tell me, excuse me, y'all, that, oh, I need you to do a ritual. I had a guy that literally came and said, well, I need you to do a ritual to kill somebody. I said, I don't do that. And this one called over the phone. He was calling from Miami. Well, I need somebody who could kill somebody. I said, I'm sorry, but it's not in our covenant, not an African covenant. Okay? So what I'm saying is you get people like this. So with saying that, I don't do nothing. You can't just come tell me, can I do a ritual for you without me divining on it? Or Brother Adinkra, he's done, divining on it, and we see first. I don't give a goddamn how much money you get, because eventually, what they don't know is, like he said, it comes back to you. So go ahead and be greedy for goddamn money if you want to. You take it thousands of dollars. Oh, I'm going to do the ritual. I'm going to go to spirits. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. That's all right, because I got $5,000 in my pocket, but I'll kill him. I'll kill him for you.
And let me tell you something. For those out there that still do it, and y'all be like, shit, I've been doing it for 5-6 years. Ain't nothing happened to you. When you do that to a person that has the right amount of power, he or she can remove all your protection, and every ritual that you've done that was evil is gonna come back to you. Not just he might remove one, he might send one ritual back, but when he breaks through your protection, you did 10 death rituals. Boom, 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 boom. All of them gonna hit you at once.
That's right. Now, I want to answer JP. He says, does karma ever attack people that are trying to break up one-ships? Yep. Sure does. And see what people, let me explain something to you. This is how the energy works, family. When two people genuinely love each other, okay? When two people, and that chemistry is there, and that union is put together by your ancestors, I don't give a goddamn what they do. They can kill a goat, chicken, cow, whatever they want to do. But if these two people have genuine feelings for each other, and these people are in love, the only one who could break that union is the person who created us them damn selves. If that is true. You know what I mean? So what we got to understand is the only thing they can probably do is cause obstacles. Cause you to argue, do little things. But when that love is real, that emotion and feeling in your heart and soul is real, you can do the hell you want to do. They ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. I don't care. People got a reputation for going around saying, oh yeah, well, I broke them up. I did this. I did that. I did this. Now, the only time that may work, family, is if one or the other person doesn't have true love for the other person. Mm-hmm. And it may be easy to work on that person who really he's not in love. You know what I mean? And this is why you get men and women that if they're messing with somebody, especially women, because this for years I would get women, they want love rituals. Oh, I want to take him from his wife. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I believe, really? Really? You need to leave that alone. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, especially because if a man or woman's already cheating, obviously you are not in love with your woman, because if you was in love with your woman or you was in love with your man, you wouldn't be out there doing what the hell you doing unless you just a plain hoe. Okay? Now, with saying that, nobody can come in the mix of that and break it up if there is true, genuine love. They only can cause obstacles, but they ain't gonna break it up.
Yeah.
Does karma, okay, forgive your enemies and do good, love always win.
Love always wins.
That's right.
Love conquers all.
Hey, sometimes, though, you can't forgive your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your enemies want to keep acting like disagreeable spirits. And you might do rituals to help them. You might do rituals to heal them. You might say, okay, I forgive you, but they don't know when to stop. And this is what y'all see on my post on Facebook today. The person don't know when to stop. So when your enemy, okay, has been given many warnings, then you are definitely allowed to shut your enemy down. That means you've tried everything in your power ritualistically to help that person who has the issue. Now, in the case of what y'all seen on my Facebook page today, this woman was given a 3-year period and rituals were done to try to heal, to try to help. But the bitch just wouldn't stop. And that's when it's time to push your hand. Now, this is the difference what y'all got to understand with African spirituality. I can make a doll of you, and I can say, you know what? I'm going to break your goddamn legs. I'm going to break your neck. I'm going to call. But no, that's not the proper way to do it. When you are real and you're a real traditional healer and you know about spirituality, there's many spirits I can send to you. I don't have to lift a finger, okay? But I'll tell you this. What you want to do And especially if you know your power, because there's a lot of powerful people out here. Don't get it confused. And this is why I'm one that never is quick to push my hand, because I know the damage that can be done if I push my hands. And this is why it takes a lot for energy to build up with me, because I know if I can sit up there and make the wind blow and take your breath away, what the hell do you think I could do if I get angry enough because you don't try to hurt one of mine? You see what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with this is real family. When you're a traditional healer, especially African traditional healer, you have to understand the true origins of how it's done in Africa, not the way it's done here.
Yeah.
And the true origins is certain spirits work for you. You give orphan to spirit to go work for you, and the spirit will deal with it. Okay? Now, in my case, what I do, I usually reverse the energy back. And however it hits them, it's not my problem. But family, what happens is, I'll give you an example. I got a client, she called me out of Ohio, and she was working, and this woman was bullying this poor girl and threatening her and blackmailing her. So the woman said, look, Nikki, I need you to do a ritual on such and such and such. Okay? I said, okay. I said, what's going on? I divined on it first. I did see that the woman was really blackmailing this girl. She was really, really doing too much. I said, all right. I said, give me her name. I made a doll of her, right? I send the energy. Whatever you putting out, I'm sending back to you, because it's not righteous. Well, a week later, the woman fell out and had a heart attack, a stroke at work. But I didn't actually construct the ritual for her to have a stroke.
Just so what energy back.
Whatever energy this woman was putting out, that's how bad it was. It hit her back and caused her to have a stroke. Okay? And this is real. This is very real.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're dealing with this type of energy and using magic, or whether you want to call ritual work, magic, priestess, Wiccan, whatever you want to call it, you got to be very mindful. When you are quick to construct or do something evil, it's going to come back to you. And it may not hit you tomorrow. It may not even hit you next year.
Mm-hmm.
It may not hit you next year, but it's coming back. And it's not going to come back the way you think it's going to come back. A lot of people expect, oh, well, you know what? She caused this to happen to me. The same thing should happen to her. In many different ways, it can happen to you. You want to say something?
Yeah, and also, I remember about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, somebody did a ritual for me to get in a car wreck. Well, I'm protected. I put protection around my father. I put protection around my kids. So the energy didn't hit me, it hit my sister. She got in a car wreck. Now I told my sister, she didn't believe me. So that person, when that happened to my sister, their son got in a car wreck. So stuff like this, like, people do not understand. This stuff is real. But you can tell people to stop, and they'll say, oh, I ain't doing nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. That they always lie. And I'm telling you, people that do spiritual work, divine on it, people, like, when you divine on it, believe what you're seeing. And if you're not certain, have another person read it. And if they're not certain, go to somebody that can truly see, somebody that you really trust to really read it and is going to tell you the truth. Because you don't want to be doing rituals like that to harm nobody if the other person didn't do it. And you have people that'll cry, that is so convincing, that'll lie, and they'll pay you a lot of money. So please, I'm telling you, the divine on it. And I see a comment in here, NICKY, she says, one warning is not enough. We give many warnings. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't even like to use the word warning, NICKY. Let me just say this to you. It's not about a warning. I like to educate and teach, especially our people. Because our people are uneducated when it comes to African traditional ways, okay? And African traditional culture. So with saying that, one of the things I like to educate, the importance of understanding what you're dealing with and how it's to be dealt with. And with saying that, one warning is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And what we tend to do is when we're dealing with people that are people such as enemies or just hating for no reason or ex-baby mamas, ex-baby dad, whatever. our recommendation is always like, okay, we're going to do a ritual to heal you first. And what I like to do is I like to go in the depths of their souls. Why are you acting this way? I always like to say, why? Why are you angry? Why do you feel the need that you have to do this, and that? I always look in the depths of their souls. So we're not just doing traditional healing. We're actually doing spiritual counseling. We're doing overall healing for the community. When people come in our store and they sit down and they have a session with us, it's just not a reading. They're there for an hour or more. They will tell you. And I'm not just saying, okay, well, I see this. I'm telling you, you need to get it together. You need some healing. This is what happened when you were younger. And tell me why you feel this angry. He'll tell you. A lot of times people walk out of there, or he'll walk in and they're crying.
And a lot of times people, even though they're lying, they won't admit it. And we just be like, they lying. We see through all of that. They put on a show and we still see through it. So, I mean, it's just...
And see, I want to go back to what Spoken Vibe says. Forgive your enemies and do good. Love always wins. No, it does not. Because you have to remember, we are in a world that is first of all, we have three polarities. We have three what do you call it? Three polarities. We're in a three-dimensional world. Okay? You got good, evil... Okay, and you got in between. You got hot, cold, and you got warm. So love doesn't always win because you have people that are being governed by disagreeable spirits. And these spirits will take a hold of your body. They feed off of energy. They feed off of anger. They feed off the depression. They feed off of sickness.
Pain.
Okay? Pain, all of that. So love doesn't always win in these cases. Now, again, we'll do rituals. Okay, well, we're going to do a healing ritual for you. But some of these people are so tainted and so filled up with anger and disagreeable spirit. And right now, y'all, because we're in a spiritual warfare, these demons or whatever you want to call them, disagreeable spirits, have been inhabiting a lot of bodies. And they're not stopping. And I'm seeing them because I can see them. I can see them. He can see them. I said, well, she got a spirit in her. She got about 5 spirits in her. And some of these spirits actually have been in their bodies for years and years and years. So it's going to take some extensive work.
And some of them have about 10, 12 demons that walk through their body.
So with saying that, you know, love doesn't always win. Because you have to remember, we live in a world that is filled with disagreeable spirits too, just as well as there are agreeable spirits. Okay? Funje says this is a classic example of us being in control of the energies, but misusing that power. And yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm not going to say back home in Africa that there are not a few tribes that deal with traditional medicine that do evil. We have one called the Ndoki tribe, right? The Ndoki tribe does evil. They got some stories behind them, but you know what, they hide. They only come out at night because they know they're doing unrighteousness. That's not to say that though, but majority of the tribes in Africa, and I know, including mine, they're very big on doing what's righteous. You go to your traditional healer, you go to your dibia, you go to your, your shaman, you understand what I mean? And they're there to do services for you and for the community or for the village, okay? So it's saying that majority of them don't. They're really into the culture of doing what is right. If you have the gift, the people in the village come to you as the healer, or like I said, the shaman, or whatever you want to call it. Okay.
Will spiritual demons ever leave, or are they here to stay? They've been around for thousands and thousands of years. Hundreds of thousands of years.
It's just like, when we talk about these spirits, it's energy, a spiritual energy. And I honestly believe that these energies were put into existence by man, okay? Because we have the power to create, okay? So it's saying that I think there has been a lot of these energies that have been manifested into existence by people that just was already evil beings, you know what I mean? I can't tell you if they'll be here forever. I don't know. I just know that they existed now and they've been back here rampant and doing a lot of damage, okay? I want to go to JP. He says, how do you know if someone truly loves you or if they are just here to drain your energy? Well, JP, you got to get a reading on that. And you should feel it. I mean, you're referring to what we were saying earlier. You will be able to feel it in your heart and your soul. You would be able to feel it. You can tell. You can basically tell someone loves you. Okay? Yeah. You know, we all got a natural intuition. So you should be able to feel that in your heart and your soul.
Yeah. Love and Peace, she says, this woman my dad is dating, now she went and put a love spell on him to live with my mother.
You see? See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, why would she do that? You see what I'm saying? And see, I'm going to tell y'all sisters something, because I know this. I tell you, I've been doing this for years. This is me. I get a lot of love readings, and I hear this more than often. I didn't get too many guys ask me to do love rituals. It's mainly women, mostly women. Why would she do that? You see how selfish that is? Okay? You see how selfish to leave your mother. So she goes to get a love spell to get, and you know what? She don't know what, you see? But let me tell you something. Like I just said earlier, the energies that we're dealing with right now and the vibrations that we're on, these spirits and these ancestors are not playing anymore. And what's going to happen is she's going to lose your dad. Your dad's going to leave her.
Yeah, you know what I have noticed though with women that do rituals to get men, it's weird because a lot of times they don't know the man well enough, and the man he ends up beating on them. I seen that a lot, like women that do that, especially like, you know, I seen one instance, a woman, she put blood in his food. She did something to it with a cake to him. She put all kind of hoodoo stuff, like peeing in his tea and all type of shit like that. And when she got him, he started beating on her and stuff, and she couldn't get rid of him. And it took a lot of people to do spiritual work to get the man to leave.
You see? Now, how can one protect themselves from these demons? Okay, we got a few more minutes left, family. About to get off of here, but how can one protect themselves from these demons? First of all, the most important thing you want to do is not be afraid. And the other thing you want to do is recognize them when they come in your path, because they like chaos, they like destruction, they like hate, they like anger, they feed off of all kind of negative energy. Okay? Pretty much, there's many different things you can do. Many things we do spiritually, such as keeping your house smoked out, cleaned, protection in the home,
clean the clutter, dirt, debris,
right? Making
everything.
Sure your house is not chaotic. And I'm talking about clean. I'm not talking about a lot of people got chaos and clean your house, mop your floors, clean your sheets. You know what I mean? I'm talking about a clean house. Sweep your floors, vacuum your rugs, keep things in order. Don't have chaos in your home, okay? Because chaos brings chaos. Okay, but there's many different things you could do, you know, keeping protection in your home, talisman, certain spirits, you know, we do a lot of spiritual work here, so we have shrines set up here, so, you know, we keep our spirits out. There's different things you can do. One of the things you do is wanting to recognize what type of energy they're bringing, and that's the most important thing. And do not let that energy or that disagreeable spirit, or whatever you want to call it, demon, come into your path. Shut it down. Shut it down. You're not coming to my home to cause no problems. You're not coming to cause problems between me and my husband. We're not doing no arguing. You see what I'm saying? No, you're not coming in here and messing with my children. Y'all know how to do it, especially y'all Christian sisters.
And also, for those of you who have have homes that are clean and stuff like that, and you have a good relationship with your family, it's kind of a touchy subject, but like try to keep people. You can help people. At the last resort, let them move in, and sometimes you might have to say no, because sometimes their energy will cause you and your loved one to argue, cause you and and they might not even be doing that. They might come in, mind their business, and it just their energy alone causes chaos because they may be feeling a certain way, or they might be having they might have spirits attached to them, or they might just be coming from. They might work at a place that everybody has disagreeable spirits attached to them, and they bring them home. It's just so many things that come into play with that. So even with that, you want to keep people out of your business, and don't let certain people in your home.
That's right. Now I want to say this. Our lovely last question of the night, family. About to get up off of here. Is Palo Santos the best to use for that? I'm always going to be African. I don't use anything Cuban. I'm an African. Okay. I don't know too much about it. I know people use it, and if it works for you, it works for you. Okay. I don't know too much how. I know people take the sticks and burn it, and we do sell it, but I always use what I know, African stuff. Okay. So, I guess you can try it and see. Some people it works for, it may work for you. So go ahead and get you some Palo Santo and see if if it's going to work for you. I recommend many different type of resins. Like I said, there's different things you could do. You could, make sure you keep protection in your home. We deal with a lot of spirits. We deal with a lot of African spirits. So pretty much they stand at the door. We got warrior spirits, with our shrines, and we got animal spirits, and then we have our talismans, you know what I mean? So there's many different things that could be done to protect your home.
And we keep spirits in our cars and stuff
right, in the cars. We keep spirits in the cars, on our bodies, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of different things you could do. Just do your research, okay?
At our store, so don't come in there stealing, because I'm telling you. But anyway, family, okay. And I'm going to let y'all know this. The product of the week for Spiritually Speaking store is Cosmic Conscious You. Especially for y'all seers. Anybody that sees, you want Cosmic Conscious You.
Well, not even that. Cosmic Conscious You is monatomic gold, okay? Which actually will help you, become more spiritual. I say, and I like to say, it actually helps with reactivating, like I said, reactivating now. I didn't say activating, reactivating your DNA and helping you go through a smooth transformation during this major transformation we're having on Earth and in the cosmos, okay? So the product of the week for Spiritually Speaking store is Cosmic Conscious You.
We have one more question.
Shoot, go ahead.
Spoken Vibe says, how do you know if a spirit in your home is good? You speak on that all the time, so I'm going to let you
answer. Go ahead. Let me put the website in there. Go ahead.
If a spirit is good, it's not going to scare you. It's not going to harm you. And most of the times, you have good spirits in there. It'd probably be like your ancestor or something like that. So.
Ancestors will never scare you. Mm-hmm. And because they know that some of you may not be ready to view them or see them. Okay? They may give you signs or certain smells they may put out there for you. You might smell, that used to be my grandmother's perfume, or, you know what I mean? Or, they might do certain things. Like, long story short, y'all, and we'll take that's a Facebook. Okay. I had a client that called me from Wisconsin years ago, right? He was referred to me. So he calls me and he's saying there's a spirit in his house. And every morning he gets up, he finds a fork on the floor, all right? In the kitchen. So he says, I was told that you were the one to be able to see. So I looked, I said, who's the bow-legged old man? I said, he got thick glasses on, he's bow-legged, and he walks with a cane. I said, and he shakes like he had Parkinson. He said, oh, well, that's my granddaddy. But he's not alive. I said, okay. I said, well, that's the one that's dropping the fork on the floor. I said, he's there, right? Now, he wasn't trying to scare him.
He wants something to eat.
He wanted something to eat, but he wasn't trying to scare him. He was just letting him know he ain't leave his house, because that was his granddaddy's house. And he said, and he always used to drop the fork because his head used to shake. I said, I know. I said, I see. So, anyway, he couldn't believe it. Excuse me, family. My throat is full of damn pollen right now. But anyway.
Good Vibe says they're knocking on his door.
Okay. So, Good Vibe. Don't answer that door. Because that ain't no ancestors. That's some disagreeable spirits. That's a disagreeable spirits. That ain't no ancestors. Ancestors know how to get into you. Them disagreeable spirits knock on your door. Once you open it, they coming on in. And that's them damn legion demons. The ones that's hunched over and look like little gargoyles on top of the churches. That's them.
They got the little spikes and little spines down it.
Yeah.
They back.
Yeah, but you watch them ones right there, because they real rampant right now. They out here.
She say her closet door. It's her closet door.
They come
very light knot.
Yeah, but they come through the closets. They come through the.
That's what, when we clean our houses. That's where they be.
They hide in the closet.
Closet under the bed. They like
to go under the bed in the closets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, you know what? Don't get scared. Knock back. First and foremost, do not be scared though.
Yeah, don't be scared, because if you're scared, they're gonna attack you more.
Yeah, don't be scared.
It's like a bully. When it sees fear, it keeps bullying you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Latrell. Hey, Wordplay. Wordplay says, yes, on Facebook, yes, the Cosmic Conscious You, that real deal, took me to a whole nother level. Yeah, that Cosmic Conscious You will take you on another dimension. But anyway, family, last words of the night, do not fear them. Let me tell you something. Get up and knock back on that door. Say, get your behind out of here. You can't knock on the door no goddamn more. Start cussing them out. Okay? Cuss them out. Tell them to get up out of here. I don't like them and I can't stand them. They know. I could smell them. And let me tell you.
And they stink.
Another thing y'all pay attention to, they have a very strong stench to them. It almost smells like someone that doesn't wear deodorant. You can smell them when they're around.
Mm-hmm.
Yolanda Maris, all ancestors are good. I don't care what nobody tell you. When your ancestors leave this physical body and go into the spiritual realm, they are perfect beings. They are perfect beings. And what we got to understand, family, because a lot of people, when he did this, when he raped me, he did this, he molested me when he was here. They're not the same beings. Remember, family, when you come here, you're living a human experience, okay? Mm-hmm. You do not have all of your conscious mind. You only got 10% of your conscious mind. So when that soul enters this physical body, you're not remembering your spiritual, aspects in the spiritual realms. You are a perfect being in the spiritual realms. What you can do with those ancestors that have experienced life here on this earth, that had a human experience, okay, you can utilize them to help other human beings. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, some cultures will say that, oh, ancestors are not good. I can't speak for that. As an African culture, we pay homage to our ancestors. We know that once they leave the physical body, they're not the same beings. Mm-hmm. So we don't look at it like that in Africa.
Yeah. Like for instance, if say your dad was an alcoholic, and he passed, and you got a little sister that's coming up, and she becomes an alcoholic, and you want her to stop drinking, you call upon your dad to ask her to help your little sister.
Right, to guide her path.
To stop being an alcoholic, and he'll move mountains for that.
Okay. Evelyn, last question. Hi, can demons attach themselves to children? Oh, yeah. Yes, they can.
And elders.
Yes, they can, because I had a few children that had demons attached to them. Real talk.
And animals, too.
And let me tell you something. That's why it's very, and you know why they get children the most? Because they know children are scared. And not only that, children are more open. They're more open vessels. They're the closest to the spiritual realms. Okay. So that's why, especially like in our country, what we do is we put on, what we call a contadorge on the baby when they're born, because it protects them from those demonic entities or spirits. Okay. But you should have your babies protected. Your children protected, because yes, they do.
Oh, she just.
What?
I got.
Oh, yeah, we'll do it Sunday.
I forgot.
Okay. All right, family. All right, so we've been on here over an hour. It's time to go.
And if y'all, for those of y'all that like want special protection and stuff like that, we do make those. It's just for you.
Right.
You go to our website and order something, or if you want something like beads or something like that, you can purchase those also. Now, but when we put protection over them, we charge you for them. It's not that much. We're not ridiculous with our prices either.
We have beads. We have longer pouches. We have Yasi pouches. Okay. And the pouches actually have African medicines in them that we use to protect your house, or you can wear on your body. Okay. And then we have also the beads, because a lot of people like the Orisa beads. Okay. So we have those. But check out our website. We put it in the chat on YouTube. On Facebook, it's www.nickylovewunam.com, and that's NICKYLOVEWUNAM.com.
That's Spoken Vibe says, do you sell monatomic gold? That's what our cosmic conscious use.
Yes, we do. Go to the website. We also have the store website, which is spirituallyspeakingstore.com. Okay. But yes, Spoken Vibes on our monatomic gold is called Cosmic Conscious You. It's called Cosmic Conscious You, and you will find it at the website, on the website. Okay.
Nikki Nakia, can you put protection on jewelry? Yes.
Yes, you can. I've done it. People send me their jewelry and we'll put protection on it, and we actually can do that for you if you already have jewelry. But a lot of times I'm very skeptical of taking very expensive jewelry, because we don't want no responsibility for that. And most of the times we usually do it locally. I don't really like getting people's jewelry like that. Yeah. Okay? You know, especially if you got gold, diamonds, we're not touching it. You have to bring it to us. And we could do it on the spot for you, but we're not touching it. Okay? Like that. Alright, family.
We gotta go for this.
Love leeching, watching you to learn so much. Thank you, Michelle Bride. Enjoy having you watch us, okay? Anyway, family, thank you for tuning in to Spiritually Speaking News, where we see what you can only imagine. I'm Sister Wunam, a.k.a. Nikki Love.
I'm Brother Adinkra.
And you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Peace and blessings, YouTube. Peace and blessings, Facebook.
Peace.
Peace.
When you're so present, what do you feel? Do you feel it in your
You can hear the phone in the background.